Hi everyone, again welcome back to my channel Unfinished Curious Smile. Today we are going to discuss about the primate, which is a very important study in anthropology, especially in biological anthropology. So let's get started. What is primate? Primate studies are basically a very vital branch of biological or physical anthropology because it focus on the behavior and biology and evolution of our ancestors, or we can say the closest living relatives. Non-human primates are monkeys, apes, and prosimians like lemurs. And somehow these studies helps anthropologists to understand the human evolution and contemporary human behavior by studying this the by it helps us to identify the difference between humans and other primates. If we take the famous definition by Saint George Mivart, which is in the year 1873, where he said where he defined primate as unguiculate claviculate placental mammals with orbits encircled by bone, three kinds of teeth, and a brain, always with a posterior lobe and calcareous fissure. Now, while studying the primates in anthropology, one question arises in our mind is why do we study primates in anthropology? It's because of several reasons. Firstly, humans share 98 to 99% of their DNA with chimpanzees and baboons. Uh, because of several studies which indicates the similarities of humans with the great apes, and how they share a common ancestor. By studying these, anthropologists come to the conclusion that how human traits have evolved over the years, over many years actually. Uh, For example, the human's gene, which is FOXP2, associated with the language, and how in present days in both chimpanzees and humans it is found, and also the how human version supports these complex speech, mm, suggest where evolutionary divergence has occurred. Um, Understanding the evolutionary origins of human behavior, uh, primates helps. Primate studies also help studying uh, how our behavior have evolved over time through natural selection, social learnings, and adaptation to environment. For example, the study of macaques, which are a type of a monkey, shows complex group dynamics like forming alliances and understanding social hierarchies, also the traits which is observed in human societies. Other than that, the development of communication system and how primates use tools also helps in the trace the origin of bipedalism. Uh, Coming back to the evolutionary perspective of social behaviors, cooperation. Cooperation, which is seen in the chimpanzees. Chimpanzees hunt in a group, share food, and also help each other in grooming, similar to how early humans may have survived by cooperating in hunting and protection. Talking about aggression, this is also seen among the male chimpanzees, where sometimes they form a form a group to fight for the dominance, and this behavior somehow uh, portrays how human conflict and leadership struggle also seen in the human uh, among humans. And parenting and kinship, uh, talking about the parenting and kinship which is prominently seen among the humans, this is also noticeable, this is also found among orangutans, especially among orangutan mothers who take care of their young for at least 7 years and teach them how to find food and make nests. This long-term parenting style is rare among the animal uh, kingdom and shows parallels with the human parenting. Now, talking about the next point, which is the reveal the development of communication systems and tool use. So, many primates use sounds, gestures, and facial expression to communicate. Sometimes, even they use tools to uh, tools which was once thought to be a human only ability, but uh, chimpanzees use stick uh, to fish terminates from mounds, which is a clear example of a learned tool use. And several others, monkeys, uh, uh, also use stones to crack nuts, and also many other activities. Tracing about the origins of bipedalism, um, understanding how and why early humans began walking upright is key in anthropology from the very beginning. So, as we know about the Australopithecus ramidus about 4.4 million years ago, how uh, they show a transitional from partly adapted from climbing but also capable of bipedalism. So, after studying gorillas knuckle walk or how baboons occasionally walk upright, provides clues to these transitions. Talking about ecological adaptations and survival strategies, there are different primates who live in different habitats, forests, savannas, and mountains, and they also adapt according to their foraging behavior, diet, and group structures. Also helps us understand how human might have adapted to early environment. For example, baboons, especially uh, Gelda baboons, which who actually located in Ethiopian highlands, where they survive mainly on grass, usually which is actually unusual for primates, but somehow they shows flexibility in diet and group cohesion in harsh environments. And last but not the least, severe as models for early hominin behavior and evolution. Now, uh, while explaining this last point, where I would like to say that there are several good examples of the studies that's found in various forms. Talking about a study first and foremost that comes in our mind, which is Jane Goodwill's long-term study of chimpanzees, where she revealed that how the chimpanzees behavior like mourning the dead, warfare, and community rituals challenges the notion of humans you uniqueness, and offering models for early hominin society. Talking about Jane Goodwall, chimpanzees and her notable contributions uh, in primate studies and especially and in anthropology. uh, in 1960, she is a young English primatologist and began her career uh, by doing long-term field study at Gombe Stream National Park, which is located in Tanzania, and her famous work which revolutionized the primate research and offered groundbreaking insight into chimpanzees' behavior and how they uses tools and their social dynamics. So in her research work, the main point which comes to that the use of tools by chimpanzees. So she observed through her field work where uh, chimpanzees uses tools uh, and uh, also the complex structures of chimpanzees, like forming hierarchies, alliances, and displaying both the cooperation and rivalries. For instance, she reveals that the social intelligence and political behavior are not uniquely shows among humans. Group dynamic among chimpanzees, which mirror early human communities, and aggression and warlike behavior, like in her documentation she mentions that intergroup violence which is present, and even lethal attacks sometimes unexpected from animals thought to be peaceful. Also, uh, these studies help anthropologists to understand the human aggression may have evolutionary roots. There are some maternal care and parenting which is present among the chimpanzees. Um, how mothers showed strong and nurturing bonds with their infants and who depend on them for many years actually. Chimpanzees shows signs of grief after the death of a group members, which suggests the emotional depth and possibility that the evolutionary roots of mourning and empathy in humans. So, uh, if we go through the study which is done by the Jane, actually the method of long-term fieldwork and participant observation, where she immersed herself quietly among the sheep, uh, helps naming individual behavior instead of numbering them, broke with the scientific norms of our time. Next up, Diane Fossey, which is and her work is also very famous because of the primate behavior and conservation in anthropology, where Diane Fossey, talking about Diane Fossey in 1960s, in the late 1960s, where Diane Fossey, an American primatologist, one of the primates mentored of Louis Leakey, begins long-term research on the mountain gorillas in the Virunga Mountains of Rhodna, and she established the research center in 1967, where where in her research work it is been found that how the social structures of gorilla groups, especially the Fossey documented the gorilla troops are led by a dominant silverback male who is responsible for protection, leadership, and decision making. There are also hierarchy system noticed among them, and how the social bonding and similarity to early human clan-based or patriarchal group are found among them. Mothers were observed nurturing their young uh, gorillas, and older siblings participated in the caregiving process. Mm, and also, which is in the contrary to the gorillas, the nature of the gorillas were gentle, shy, and peaceful, engaging in play, grooming, and close physical bonding. which helps the contrast to chimpanzees aggression or expands our understanding of the diversity of primate temperaments and conflict resolution strategies. Also communication, which is a very important uh, part of the gorillas day-to-day lives, because gorilla use a variety of vocalizations like vocalizations, chest beating and facial expression and body postures to communicate emotions like anger, fear and affections. Insights also shows that non-verbal communication evolutions also the foundation for language development in humans. Conservation and um, human impact also noticed by fossil because of the deeply involved protecting gorillas from uh, the habitat destruction and leading to the conservation anthropologist efforts. Her work somehow highlights the ethical responsibility of anthropologists to protect studied species and their habitat. So, primate, these are the contributions of very famous primatologists and anthropologists who actually devoted themselves to discover all these activities, or and they brought up some famous something which is unexpected and documented by them. There are several key aspects of the primate studies. Basically, uh, primates classifies primate taxonomy and classification, where we classify primates into prosimians monkeys, where prosimians new world monkeys and old world monkeys and apes. Primate anatomy and morphology, where we study physical structure, skeletal systems, dentition and more so also try to find out the relationship or try to trace back the evolutionary links with the non-human primate with the humans. And primate behaviors usually includes, as I was talking in the previous slide, the grooming behaviors and social bondings, dominance, hierarchy, mating systems and play. Primate ecology, how primates actually interact with the environments, and how they collect their diet, or how they do their uh, daily daily lifestyles, how they actually build their habitat in the forest and so on. Primate cognitions, where the intelligence and memory, self-recognition, problem-solving ability, and how they use a symbol for their communication. As I was talking in the talking with while explaining about the gorillas, how actually they uses various uh, vocalization or how they voice their through their vocalization, how they communicate, also they communicate with their signs and symbols. So these are the aspects which helps somehow to understand anthropologists the difference between the humans and the non-human primates, and how they have uh, evolved from years. And primate conservation, which actually focuses on the which is actually very important part of the protection, because because of the endangered primates which are actually in loss. So there are some necessary requirement and necessary protection that is actually uh, taken care of by the government or by the uh, researchers, and they are bringing some new how they actually could help in the protection of these endangered primates. So there are also five key characteristics of primates as per Myers definition. So placental mammals, as you can see in this image, the placental mammals, placental, there is a placenta, as you can see from this image. Placental mammals means we all know that humans are placental mammals. Primates, non-human primates also give birth to their child and nurture them in the placenta. And claviculate, which is in colloquial term we use it as a beauty bone. So uh, claviculate is also seen among, or the collar bones, which is actually present uh, among the primates, non-human primates, and among of course humans. Orbits are actually encircled, as you can see from the image. The eye sockets are very strongly surrounded in a bony ring. This helps in the better vision, the stereoscopic visions, and the how actually primates observe everything by the stereoscopic vision. Uh, and three types of teeth, which is present among the primates. Primates usually have incisors, canines, and molars for their diet. Mm, and the premolar is actually absent. Brain with posterior lobe and calcarine fissure. A well developed brain with a distinct visual uh, processing areas is also noticeable among the primates. Here are the examples of non-human primates. Lemur, which is actually found in Madagascar. Tarsiers, which is also this is also very small primate and found in Southeast Asia. Chimpanzees, pan troglodytes, one of the closest relatives of humans. Rhesus monkey, which is a old world monkey, and obviously human, Homo sapiens, are advanced primate species. I hope this video on primate give you little clarity of primate and how we study primate in anthropology, and give you little perspective about this. I hope this video is helpful to you. For more such content, please subscribe my channel. Thank you.